half a year ago, I made the switch to my first EV, and it completely changed how I think about them. In January of 2026, I got my first EV, the Kia PV5. I'm sitting in it right now. And I've explained and talked about the car and why I got it and everything in a different video already. So if you have not watched that, please do so. But I wanted to go a little further and just talk about the general idea of EVs and my thoughts before and then after getting the car, and just the perks, I would say, the things that stand out the most for me by owning of owning an EV. So now half a year later, I wanted to just talk about the things that I think stand out in owning an EV, and let's just dive in. The first one being charging at home. Yes, I'm aware it's a convenience that not everybody has, and I'm also aware that it's a massive privilege. Plus add solar power, so solar panels to that, and you can basically charge the EV for free, at least during the summer, spring month where you have a lot of sunlight. And honestly, that's like the biggest, for me, thing to get an EV. Like if you have that commodity, if you are able to provide solar energy at home, then I feel like there is no reason not to get an EV, even a used one. And it's just, making your own energy through solar or, wind even, and then putting it into an EV to be able to get around is mind-blowing, and it's super handy. And, when I come home, I just plug it in, and if I have solar surplus, it just basically gets put back into the car, and you save energy, and it's the cleanest way to drive around, I would argue. And it's kind of cool to harvest the sun's energy for transportation. One of the bigger issues, or I believe one of the bigger issues, was range. So the range anxiety, as I described in my first video, was just not being able to get that far, or being stranded somewhere, like all those fears that are very irrational and not in any way or form warranted. And I can safely say that even driving further distances during one day, it's no problem. Even with a car like this, with a massive car like this, 400 kilometers is easy doable. And you plan it out anyways if you drive further than that. We are going to Croatia in a couple of weeks. I'm probably gonna bring the camera and document the whole thing and see how we are doing driving that far and with kids. But yeah, honestly, what can I say? It's you can charge super fast. I've done the trip to Germany. I charged at McDonald's and other stations, and I wasn't even able to finish my coffee before I was done charging. So I feel like nowadays with the fast charging, there's no need anymore for a range anxiety or range issues, because you can charge so quickly, a couple of miles or kilometers again, and get there where you want to be. And with apps, the built-in systems or apps, it's super easy to just plan it out. EVs are quiet. I feel like that's a thing that is obviously given. We know it. We hear them driving around, and it's a very nice thing. If you drive an EV and then go back to a traditional ICE car, so internal combustion engine, you know how loud those cars can be, especially driving faster on the Autobahn. And it's just a very nice thing that it's comfortable, quiet, and it's also fun, when you step into the gas. It gives you full power and it just presses you into the seat, and even my daughter has a lot of fun with that. So yeah, and one of the bigger features that I thought I would not use as much, or I thought was just a little gimmick, is just the commodity of having control over the car on my phone. And during the heat wave this summer, it's nice to get in a car that is cooled down, at least to a degree. especially with kids, you know, if you let the car simmer in the sun and you know how hot it gets in the car that's been standing in, especially on a parking lot or something, it's, especially with kids, insane to get back into the car. And just, you know, with a button press on your phone, you can cool it down or heat it up and change a few settings, defrost the windows, all of that stuff. And it became probably the most used feature for me while owning this car. Also, another handy feature is when you brake, you gain back energy by recuperation. So energy that is typically lost in ICE cars when braking through heat, you gain back, which is not, like, doesn't sound as significant, but on the other hand, if you have ever been driving up far, like a mountain pass or something, with an EV car, you obviously need more power, and with a traditional car too, you need more power to get up there because you have to, you know, get all the weight up there. But driving down, you basically need no power. And when you brake, typically with an ICE car, the brakes get hot and the power is lost. But with an EV car, with recuperation, you get back that power so you can charge your battery while driving. Which again, doesn't sound as significant, but when you, and I've done that, when you drive down for a long time, you can gain back a significant amount, which is kind of cool. And also a very, I feel like, underlooked or underrated feature in EV cars. And my favorite thing about owning an EV, you might ask, besides the cooling on the app and stuff like that, those gimmicks, or those little features, is not paying any money to oil companies anymore, or to gas companies or whatever. Just the convenience of making my own power through solar, and then also choosing the power company through the energy that I get from what it's made, and not being held hostage anymore at the gas station because of one person ruining the whole fucking economy for everybody. Driving an EV is probably the most liberating thing. And yeah, again, if you can charge it through solar, it's probably the most freeing thing as well, economically. And also, you know, it just feels so much better. The Kia PV5 has been the best investment I've made so far in my life. And if you would ask me if I would ever go back to a traditional ICE car, I would say never in 100 years. Thanks for watching. Please leave a comment. That helps me and the algorithm the most to get my videos, you know, out there and get noticed. And if you like what I do, I also appreciate a, you know, subscription. And yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. And until next time, bye.